Hi everyone. I have a song this morning that you probably know. You sing a song. And so for the first verse we do the sing a song, and the second verse I say you play a tune. And if you have a little instrument, maybe you'd like to get that, put me on pause and get an instrument. I have a little homemade instrument that I'll play. And then the third verse is hum a tune, and then the fourth verse is whistle, and hopefully you can whistle. Give it a try, and then we'll end up with the sing a song again. So here's how it goes. You say, you'll sing a song and I'll sing a song, and we'll sing a song together. You'll sing a song and I'll sing a song in warm or wintry weather. Now we're going to play a tune. You play a tune and I'll play a tune, and we'll play a tune together. You play a tune and I'll play a tune in warm or wintry weather. Do 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 do. Now let's hum. You hum a tune and I'll hum a tune, and we'll hum a tune together. You hum a tune and I'll hum a tune in warm or wintry weather. You whistle a tune and I'll whistle a tune, and we'll whistle a tune together. You whistle a tune and I'll whistle a tune in warm or wintry weather. You sing a tune and I'll sing a tune, and we'll sing a tune together. You'll sing a tune and I'll sing a tune in warm or wintry weather. Hey, that was great. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to say, Fiona Scout, I love that you got your brother to do Mr. So. That was so fun. And today I have another story about Mr. Putter and Tabby. They fly the plane. And Claire, I don't have any more Henry and Mudge stories, unfortunately. I do love Henry and Mudge. But this is the same author that wrote Henry and Mudge. She also wrote the Mr. Putter and Tabby stories. Okay. Oh, there's Mr. Putter's car. I love that car. Ravi, do you know what kind of car that is? That's really cool. Here they are, looking in a toy store story. Toy store. 3 chapters: toys, the little plane, and the boy. And here's a toy at the toy store. Toys. Mr. Putter loved toys. He was old and he knew that he wasn't supposed to love toys anymore, but he did. When Mr. Putter and his fine cat Tabby drove into town, they always stopped at the toy store. Tabby was not happy at the toy store. She was old too, and her nerves weren't as good as they used to be. The wind-ups made her twitch, the pop-ups made her jump, and anything that flew gave her the hiccups. But Tabby loved Mr. Putter, so she put up with all of it. While she twitched and jumped and hiccuped, Mr. Putter played with everything. He played with the dump trucks, he played with the cranes, he played with the bear on the flying trapeze. But most of all, he played with the planes. Ever since he was a boy, Mr. Potter had loved planes. When he was young, he had covered his whole room with them. Biplanes were his favorite, but he also loved monoplanes and seaplanes and shiny ace junkers. Here he is as a little boy. I was waiting for the cuckoo clock. He thought he might really fly a plane one day, but he never did. So now he just looked at toy planes every chance he got. One day, when Mr. Potter and Tabby were in the toy store, and Tabby was hissing at a wind-up penguin, Mr. Potter spotted a plane he had never seen before. Look at Tabby. Look at her tail. Oh, poor Tabby. It was white and red, with 2 wings on each side and a little flag on its tail. It was the most beautiful biplane he had ever seen, and it had a radio control so a person might really fly it. You haven't seen that clock. That clock is sitting behind my iPad. So it probably sounded pretty loud. Sorry about that. Mr. Potter was in love. He bought the little plane and put it in the car with Tabby. He told her not to worry. He promised her a nice cup of tea with lots of cream and a warm English muffin. But still, she hiccuped all the way home. Tabby's looking pretty nervous there. Chapter 2, The Little Plane. Mr. Potter kept his promise. He gave Tabby tea with cream and a warm English muffin. Then together they went outside to fly his new plane. Do you think Tabby's excited or what? Yeah? She's not looking so excited. She's looking a little nervous. Tabby had stopped hiccuping, but only because she was full of tea. She still didn't like Mr. Potter's plane. Mr. Potter sat on the grass and read all the directions. Look at her face. Then he put the plane on the grass and stepped back and pressed the start button. But the plane did not start. It just rolled over and died. Tabby purred. Now look at her face. Mr. Potter ran to the little plane. He set it right again. He told it to be a good little plane. He stepped back and pressed the start button. But the plane did not start. It fell on its nose and died. Tabby purred and purred. Tabby's looking pretty happy right here. Mr. Potter ran to the plane. He brushed the dirt off its nose. He told it to be a brave little plane. He stepped back and pressed the start button. But the plane did not start. One of its wings fell off and it died. Tabby purred and purred and purred. I think Tabby's pretty happy. But poor Mr. Potter was so sad. He picked up his little biplane. He told the plane that it was all his fault. He told it that he was an old man and old men shouldn't have toys anyway. He said he wasn't any good at flying planes. Tabby watched Mr. Potter. She could see that he was sad. Then she felt sad too, because she's a good friend. And when our friends are sad, we're sad too. Tabby went to Mr. Potter and rubbed herself against his legs. She sat on his shoulder and put her head by his, then licked his nose. This made Mr. Potter feel better. Yeah, we like to make our friends feel better when they're sad.